Hi, I'm Imogen and welcome to my channel. This is going to be my December TBR. I kind of use TBRs as a guideline. They're not necessarily the only things I'll read. I probably won't finish a lot of them because I've been finishing maybe 1 or 2 books a month, but I've been rotating through a lot. I'm currently at university studying my degree, but I've been very ill for the past 2.5, nearly 3 weeks now. I've got a genetic illness and it can cause me to suffer from chronic fatigue. So I've actually finished 2 books in the last week. I finished Friday Black and also A Ladder to the Sky, both of which I loved. So I feel like I've got back into a bit more of a groove because I know it's only 2 books in November, but I think I finished 1 book in September and 1 book in October. So we've doubled the amount of reading, and so I'm still not feeling great. I'm going to see if I can get through a few more, and also I get to go home next week. Is it next week? Yes, it is next week. This is the problem, I've lost all concept of time because I've just been ill and my memory gets particularly horrendous when I'm ill, so concept of time has completely gone out the window. So I'll either be doing reading when I'm not up to doing my uni work yet, because to be honest I've not really been. I've done like 1 thing yesterday but I have no memory of it at all, so we stored that, and last night was horrendous. So I woke up at like, for some reason, at 3:30 in the morning, absolutely starving, basically cooked myself a meal and went back to sleep. No idea what. I don't know when I last would have woken up because I was hungry. So, hoping to continue on with my reading. I just looked at this pile very confused because I was like, where's the one I've almost finished? But I finished that. So what should we start with? Let's start with some non-fiction because I've got a couple of non-fiction books here. If I can go sneeze. There's also a fly that's got in my room. I don't know how it like appeared this evening, and I've not opened my door since like lunchtime, so I don't know where this fly has appeared from. It appeared like 7, 8 o'clock this evening. It's now 9:45 because I was awake, so I wanted to do something fun because it was too late to do anything I needed to do. Anyway, distracted. This is a book I had for non-fiction November, which with the before mentioned being ill and not being able to remember things, reading non-fiction didn't go as well as I wanted to. Go away, fly. This is Lives of the Artists by Vasari, translated by George Bull. Vasari was an artist during the Renaissance, so kind of the same time as Michelangelo. Like Michelangelo was around at the start of Vasari's career, and like Vasari lived past him onto people who came after him. And he was an artist himself, but he's more famous for writing Lives of the Artists, which just lands on my camera. Talks about different artists, basically. It's small bits about different artists, so this is just something I'm picking up and reading a chapter at a time, really. I found this copy secondhand in bookshop because the reason I noticed it was because this year a beautiful hardback edition of this was, a new translation was done and it was printed, and oh, so beautiful. But I saw this, so I bought it instead. I'm a student, I couldn't justify just buying it because I wanted it and it was beautiful, but if I get further into this and I'm still loving it, I might. So yeah, I'm on page 57, but this is the most deceiving book ever. It looks a couple 100 pages long. This is nearly 500 pages. Fly, go away. You can probably hear it, it's buzzing. Land. Okay, it's landed somewhere. next non-fiction book. This isn't one I picked up this month, but I think I'm going to read a bit of tonight. This is Winter by Karl Ove Knausgaard. He also wrote, there's a series called My Struggle, which is a fictionalised account of his life. This is non-fiction written before his daughter was born. And it's kind of almost a diary form. It takes like, they're not dated, but each, in here you've got 3 months. I'm on I'm on January now. And each kind of chapter within the month is a topic. So the next one is setting limits, and it's like 3-4 pages on that. And I just really, really like his writing. I actually treated myself to A Death in My Family by him. Go away, fly. For my birthday in October, which I am yet to read, but I would really like to finish this, especially now it is winter as well. So there's that one, and then this one. Oh, I should probably get the dust jacket. Is actually sitting here. The dust jacket is off this because I didn't want to ruin it. It's already a bit messed up because it fell out of the car when the boot was opened when I was moving to university. It slightly breaks my heart every time I look at it, because this was my treat to myself for getting my A-levels and getting to university, because it's been a long, hard, struggling process, as shown by the fact that I've been ill for nearly 3 weeks and unable to go to a lecture in that point in time. But this is Meetings with Remarkable Manuscripts by Christopher de Hamel. And this is like an absolutely beautiful book. And two, it's fascinating. This takes you through, I'm going to say 13, I want to get this right, no, 12 medieval manuscripts. And it talks about the artists, the type of manuscript it is, their history, any modern history that's associated it, the people that are associated with it. I just find it fascinating. I've always been fascinated by the medieval era and manuscripts as well. It's one of those weird things that I've always been fascinated by, and I have absolutely loved reading this. This is something I picked up again while I've been ill, because it's something I feel like I need to actually divert my attention to when I'm reading it. So I'm currently on a chapter, I don't even know. Yeah, chapter 9. And I've only got less than 15 pages left, so I might actually finish this chapter this week. I should read a bit at a time, and within each, each chapter you have beautiful copies of some of the pages in the manuscripts, and this is I'll try and find a more illustrated one, but yeah, I absolutely love this book. It's fascinating. I get that it's probably something that very few other people would be interested in. Like, how? Look at, I can't imagine making something like that at the time that these were made and that they still exist. Not all of them obviously exist in amazing condition, but a lot of them do. I'm just fascinated by it. I always have been. So if anyone knows any other books on medieval manuscripts, I'll take recommendations. This bizarre niche topic that I find fascinating. So yeah, they're my kind of non-fiction books I'm just dipping in and out of as I feel like it. It's kind of funny, I keep catching a glimpse of myself in the bit that comes out the side, the screen, that's the word. and I'm slightly confused because I just really wanted to put on makeup for some reason. Actually, I know why. I was meant to go out to dinner this evening with people I do lacrosse with, but I was too unwell. I knew I'd probably make it maybe half an hour through and I'd just be done. And I kind of been looking forward to it, so I just fancy putting on makeup. And then I'm literally just wearing a sweatshirt. But it does say Queen on it, which, divergent, I saw Bohemian Rhapsody a couple of weeks ago with one of my friends that lives in the same building as I do. So good, that was so much fun. And because I am such a typical uni student, not, it's like late night, it's kind of late in the evening and I'm drinking hot chocolate. I've been craving sweet things and I don't have anything left in my flat that is sweet apart from hot chocolate. And this is really good. This is just the Asda own brand because I had a delivery, Asda delivery, because I'm too old to go out to the shops basically. I was too old to go out to the shops, and even now I'm probably still too old to go out to the shops. But yeah, their own brand hot chocolate is really good. It's really rich and strong, which is what I like in hot chocolate. I also got their salted caramel one, which I think is a, I assume like a winter special, Christmas special type thing, but that's also really good. In my seahorse mug from my grandparents, so thank you grandparents, thinking of you as I drink this. Anyway, moving on to books. There's nothing I've been massively actively reading because I finished those two last week and they've been the books I've been mainly reading, but I do have this, which I always catch me surprised when you catch this in the camera because the kind of copper around the edge is so pretty. This is The Girl in the Mirror by Sarah Gristwood, which is a Tudor, and the start is during the Elizabethan era. It follows a girl called Jean who is Dutch, and during the Protestant Catholic, I've started this book literally months and months ago, war, her parents are killed and she goes to England. And the guy who takes her, I think is a friend of the family. He disguises her as a boy. He is I suppose now we call him a botanist, gardener, horticulturalist. He runs a lot of he runs some gardens, I think, basically. It's hard to describe. As I said, I literally started this months and months and months ago. And eventually she becomes a clerk in Robert Cecil's household, who was very close to Queen Elizabeth, part of kind of her council, and it follows the intrigue in relation to that and follows multiple characters, but it's kind of Jean's story is the centre of it. But it follows, as you kind of go through, it follows different characters, and I really enjoy it. I'm about halfway through and I just decided to pick it up the other day. You'll see why in a minute. And I think I'd quite like to finish this year, because there's only like 150 pages to, less than 150 pages to go, so I might actually finish another book. Then the reason I started this is because I was reading this. This is what I picked up when I finished the other two. The 2020 Commission Report on the North Korean Nuclear Attacks Against the United States by Dr. Jeffrey Lewis. He is actually kind of an expert in this, in politics and foreign policy, I think. But this is a novel of a report that was compiled after there was a nuclear war, basically. And my copy got slightly wet. Yeah, this is like it's meant to be that big, this book, but it's like, yeah, it had a little accident with a water bottle in the bottom of my bag. But it's okay now. It's taken a few days to dry, so I'm going to start reading this again. I'm literally 10 pages in, but I really like the writing style. Can't really say any more about it than that. Then another one I have that I haven't even even less of the way in. I'm on page 8. This is The Librarian by Sally Vickers. My mum sent me this in the post, so I'm just really looking forward to it. This is set in 1958. Obviously my dad was born. It follows Sylvia Blackwell, who takes a job as a children's librarian in East Mole. And it follows her story. I don't really know anything about it. I just read the first chapter to see if I liked the writing style, basically. And I did. And I look forward to reading this. Then the last one I haven't read since the start of the month, but this is Grief Cottage by Gail Godwin. I'm still really interested in reading it though, so that's why I pulled it back off my shelves. I actually got on page 57, which is a long way in for me. I've had a very hard time concentrating on reading until I got ill, so to be even that far in says something about a book. Again, my books get a bit abused because they end up in my bag. Can't really tell there, but I think it had like a drip of tea on it there. But this follows 11-year-old Marcus, who is sent to live on a small South Carolina island with his great aunt Charlotte, who is a reclusive painter that he never met until his mum died and she became his guardian. And at kind of like the end of this island is a cottage called Grief Cottage, after a boy and his parents vanish during a hurricane 50 years ago, but their bodies are never found, and Marcus starts to visit this cottage, and it's kind of spooky and eerie, and there might be a ghost involved. He's not seen the ghost yet from where I am, but there's like a spooky, eerie presence. So yeah, I don't know. I started reading this end of October, and I really enjoyed what I read, so looking forward to more of that. So that's it. I'm not going to finish many of these, but I tend to work with, I have a few books I'm reading, and I kind of go between them, read a bit of that, reading a bit of this. So yeah, I'm really excited about all of them though, which is, I really like it when I'm excited about what I'm reading, because I go through phases where I'm not really sure about what I want to read, but all of these I'm really excited about, but they're also really different, which is why I think I'm excited about them all. So yeah, because let's be honest. Let's try again. There is no way I'm going to read all of these, but these are the books I'll probably be dipping in and out of for the month, so bye.